The following reading is a short story by Akutagawa Ryunosuke titled The Mountain Wizard, Sennin. Set in Osaka, it follows Gonsuke, a simple countryman who desires to become a mountain wizard, and a cunning doctor and his wife who plot to trick him into working for free. Please enjoy this delightful fable that contrasts human greed with the pure power of absolute belief, told with a touch of humor and irony. The Mountain Wizard, Akutagawa Ryunosuke. Everyone, I am currently in Osaka, so let me tell you a story about Osaka. A long time ago, there was a man who came to the city of Osaka seeking work as a servant. It is unknown what his name was. Since he was just a man who came for work, he is known only as Gonsuke. Passing under the shop curtain of an employment agency, Gonsuke asked the manager, who was clenching a pipe in his mouth, for help finding a position. "Manager, sir, I want to become a mountain wizard, so please find me a live-in position at a place where I can do that." The manager, seemingly dumbfounded, was speechless for a while. "Manager, sir, can you not hear me? I want to become a mountain wizard, so please find me a live-in position at a place where I can do that." "I'm truly sorry, but—" The manager finally began to puff on his tobacco as usual. "Our shop has never once undertaken to broker employment for mountain wizards or the like, so please, I ask that you go elsewhere." At this, Gonsuke, looking dissatisfied, edged his knees, clad in light blue cotton trousers, forward, and offered this reasoning. "That's a bit different from how things should be, isn't it? What do you think is written on your shop's curtain? Doesn't it say Universal Employment Agency? Since it says universal, it's only right that you broker employment for anything at all, or is it that your shop intended to write a lie on its curtain?" Indeed, when put this way, it is perfectly understandable that Gonsuke would be angry. "No, it is not that there is a lie on the curtain. If you are telling me to find you a servant position where you can become a mountain wizard, by all means, please come back tomorrow. I will ask around and see if I can find any leads by the end of today." As a temporary evasion, the manager accepted Gonsuke's request for the time being. However, as to where he could serve to train to become a mountain wizard, naturally, there was no way he could know such a thing. Therefore, after sending Gonsuke away for the moment, the manager immediately set out for a doctor's place in the neighborhood. Then, having told him about Gonsuke, he asked anxiously, "What do you think, doctor? To train to become a mountain wizard, where would be the most direct route to enter service?" This probably troubled the doctor as well. For a while he just stared blankly at the pine tree in the garden with his arms crossed. But upon hearing the manager's story, the one who immediately interjected from the side was the doctor's cunning wife, who had the nickname Old Fox. "Send him here. If he stays with us, I'll be sure to make him a mountain wizard within 2 or 3 years." "Is that so? That is wonderful to hear. I leave him in your hands, then." I somehow felt that mountain wizards and doctors were closely related. The clueless manager, bowing repeatedly, went home overjoyed. The doctor watched him go with a bitter expression, but soon turned to his wife and scolded her irritably. "What kind of foolish thing are you saying? If that country bumpkin complains after years of staying here that we haven't taught him any mountain wizard arts at all, what do you intend to do?" However, far from apologizing, his wife laughed derisively, and retorted, turning the tables on the doctor, "Oh, you just keep quiet, being foolishly honest like you. You won't even be able to eat in this world." Now on the following day, as promised, the country bumpkin Gonsuke arrived together with the manager, today. Perhaps because even Gonsuke realized it was his first formal meeting, he was wearing a crested haori, but he looked not the least bit different from an ordinary peasant. This was probably somewhat unexpected. The doctor stared fixedly at his face, as if looking at a musk deer from India, and asked suspiciously, "I hear you want to become a mountain wizard, but what on earth made you conceive such a desire?" To which Gonsuke replied, "There is no particular reason, but simply that when I looked at that Osaka castle, I realized that even a great man like Lord Hideyoshi must die some day. Seeing that, I thought that human beings are fleeting creatures, no matter how much luxury and splendor they enjoy. Then, provided you can become a mountain wizard, you'll do any kind of work, right?" the cunning doctor's wife interjected without missing a beat. Yes, as long as I can become a mountain wizard, I will do any kind of work. In that case, serve at my place for 20 years starting today. If you do, I will surely teach you the arts to become a mountain wizard on the 20th year. Is that so? Thank you more than anything. But in return, I won't pay you a single mon in wages for the next 20 years. Yes, I understand. From then on, for 20 years, Gonsuke worked in that doctor's house. He drew water, he chopped wood, he cooked rice, he wiped and cleaned. On top of that, when the doctor went out, he accompanied him, carrying the medicine box on his back. Moreover, since he never once asked for even a single mon in wages, you probably wouldn't find such an invaluable servant even if you searched all of Japan. However, when 20 years finally passed, Gonsuke, donning his crested haori just as he had when he first arrived, presented himself before the master and his wife. He then politely expressed his gratitude for their care over the 20 years. Therefore, as per your promise, I would like you to teach me the mountain wizard arts of eternal youth and immortality today. Upon being told this by Gonsuke, it was the master doctor who was at a loss. After all, having employed him for 20 years without paying a single mon, he was in no position to claim now that he didn't know any mountain wizard arts. With no other choice, the doctor casually turned his head away, saying, "The one who knows the arts to become a mountain wizard is my wife, so you should have her teach you." However, the wife remained unfazed. "Well then, I will teach you the mountain wizard arts, but in return, no matter how difficult it is, you must do exactly as I say. Otherwise, not only will you not become a mountain wizard, but if you don't serve for another 20 years without pay, you will immediately be punished and die. Yes, no matter how difficult it is, I will surely accomplish it and show you." Gonsuke, brimming with joy, awaited the wife's orders. "Then climb that pine tree in the garden." The wife ordered him thus. Naturally, there was no way she could know any arts to become a mountain wizard, so she probably intended to order Gonsuke to do something seemingly impossible, and if he couldn't do it, use him for free for another 20 years. However, upon hearing those words, Gonsuke immediately climbed the pine tree in the garden. Higher, climb much, much higher. Standing at the edge of the veranda, the wife looked up at Gonsuke in the pine tree. The crested haori Gonsuke wore was already fluttering at the highest branch of that large garden pine. "Now let go with your right hand." Gonsuke firmly held a thick branch of the pine with his left hand, while slowly letting go with his right. "And then let go with your left hand as well." Hey, if he lets go with his left hand, that country bumpkin is going to fall. If he falls, there are stones below, and there's no way he'll survive. The doctor finally showed his worried face at the edge of the veranda. "This isn't your part to play. Just leave it to me. Now let go of your left hand." Before those words were finished, Gonsuke resolutely let go of his left hand as well. After all, having let go with both hands while climbed up a tree, there was no way he could avoid falling. In the blink of an eye, Gonsuke's body, the crested haori he was wearing, left the pine branches. But just as you'd think he'd left them, instead of falling, he miraculously stopped perfectly in the mid-air of the broad daylight, just like a marionette. "Thank you very much. Thanks to you, I too have become a full-fledged mountain wizard." Gonsuke bowed politely, and softly treading upon the blue sky, gradually ascended into the high clouds and vanished. What happened to the doctor and his wife no one knows. Only the pine tree in the doctor's garden remained for a long time afterward. Rumor has it that Yodoya Tatsugoro, in order to view the snow scenery of this pine tree, went out of his way to have the massive tree, which was more than 4 arm spans around, hauled into his own garden